Don't try to sneak into your room like that. I know what you've got behind your back. Records. More new records.
So this year at High End Vienna we are releasing or announcing two different products. One is the brand new 851 monoblocks, the first amplifier in the 800 series to implement the smart current technology bias scheme. Those guys are putting out 100 watts a channel into 8 ohms, 200 into 4, and 350 into 2. But more importantly, because we want to talk about vinyl here, is we're also announcing the 808 Phono preamplifier. So that is an improvement upon our older 508 Phono pre, which was a fantastic Phono preamp, but had some issues with it in manufacturing. It was a single billet of aluminum. If anything happened to it, you had to scrap the entire thing. It was a pain. And you could only have it loaded at 100 ohms for moving coil or 47K for moving magnet unless you told us beforehand and we solder on the board to fix that guy. Little bit of, it just kind of puts you in a box.
Yeah, it's where most things go, but...
Sure, but you can get so much better and so much closer with this guy in the 1108 with the use of our personality cards. So on this guy, there are two little slots in the back that have personality cards, one for each channel, left and right audio, right? So what you have to do, pull those little cards out, let us know what cartridge you're using beforehand, and we will either talk with your dealer, talk with your distributor, and then load that guy accordingly so that it works perfectly for you and your setup.
If you're solder friendly, can you do it yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so
yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah, okay.
It's one spot on with just a through-hole resistor. There's a little bit of math involved, but inside our owner's manual we have all of the calculations and at least a long list of recommended loadings for specific cartridges.
And what is that going to cost?
So that guy's going to cost roughly $9,000 US.
But it's nice and compact. All of that stuff is compact.
Yeah, I think it's going to work really well here in Europe and anywhere that there's going to be a lot of smaller living spaces. So think Italy, Germany, Vienna, maybe Japan, Taiwan. Absolutely, of course. So, and people are always looking to downsize the system, and these guys are, they're very, very different than what people think of Boulder, or when they think of Boulder, right? They think of those giant monolithic behemoths, and sure, those guys are fantastic. They're also here at High End Vienna. They're just a couple floors down. But these guys, you can set them, you can forget them, you can plug them into your TV with an optical cable, and you can just kind of relax. So the amps for the Pear in the US are $21,500.
Okay. And the preamp?
And the preamp is $10,750 US.
Just like for about 40K or so, you got the whole package.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're really excited for these guys, and I really can't wait to get more and more of them out there. They are both the 808 and 851s. We just got metal back. At least I heard from my engineer on Wednesday that we have enough to build quite a few pairs. So they're already in production and we're full steam ahead.
Thank you, sir.
Can't we be friends? My brother did. I acted like a kid out of school. What a fool. Now I see this is the end.
I'm Serguei Timachev, Stealth Audio Cables from Maryland, USA.
And how long have you been designing cables?
Since 1999.
And what is your background?
My background is aviation engineering to start with, then a PhD, incomplete PhD in mathematical modeling of physical processes.
So
that's about it.
So you're not a guy that tinkers on his kitchen table and buys wire and puts it in fancy sheathing and tries to sell it.
Not exactly.
You know what you're doing. So you sent me some AC cables recently, and that were transformative in my system. People think AC cables can't possibly make a difference because the AC comes in from the generating system, goes the whole distance, gets into your house. How could the last 3 feet make a difference? Why does it make? And to me, AC cables make the biggest difference. Why is that?
What we do, we take into account the entire AC supply chain, starting from the, say, balloon transformers of the electrical company, wiring to the houses, electrical panel, in-wall wiring, sockets, power cords, maybe with the AC distribution center, maybe even with some sort of power conditioner, which in our case doesn't help. including the input winding of the input power transformer in the equipment. This is the entire length of how AC is supplied. It doesn't exactly travel because it's a field that travels, gets the energy from one place to another. It's the field. However, in the simplified implementation, the representation, for, say, easier thinking, we're imagining a transmission line. This line, which is composed of different components, have different reactivities and different resonance properties, which basically come to one single resonance for the entire chain. Our power cord is designed to dampen the resonance, to reduce artifacts from whatever disturbance is in the line. The tuning ring that goes along the length of our power cable changes the Q and the in general intensity of that resonance. And in general in audio, overdamped is bad, underdamped is bad as well because it rings, and the overdamp is dead. So by tuning the ring, we say optimize the resonance property of the AC chain.
And we are listening, in our stereos, we're listening to a modulated version of the AC that comes into the house.
Exactly.
That's what you're listening to.
Yes, exactly.
And people have to understand that. But when they are skeptical about this, they say, well, the internal power supply of the amplifier or what, has its own filtration, its own isolation. And you say?
The internal filtration and whatever modulation stabilization in the power supply is the inside of the input power transformer. If we have extensive ringing in the input winding, it definitely affects the other side of the transformer. The coefficient of interaction between windings is roughly 0.99, 0.999, and it's almost 1-0. It's almost direct coupling. So whatever we do with stabilization is affected and by what we have on the outside. So we try to take care of the outside incoming AC stream just to make the internal guts, the components, the principal, whatever filtering, to work properly without the outside effects.
And why does the conductor material, silver or copper, why does that make a sonic difference?
In the power cords, the geometry and wrapping of the wires make more of a difference than the materials. However, we cannot disregard the actual material properties. For the last, say, 22 years, I've been doing things intuitively, using my engineering background just to stimulate the intuition. Just recently, roughly half a year ago, I was able to put it into physical and mathematical form. I've written about 15, 18 differential equations, and now I'm in a much better position to predict what happens to the wire. In general, each wire has an active part, normal resistance, that transfers electricity to heat. And now we have inductance and capacitance, which are a reactive part. Reactive means they consume energy and return it back, almost in full. So the reactive part of a simple straight wire the reactive portion of the energy goes back and forth, as AC goes with the frequency of the AC traveling around the cable.
Which is 60 hertz, right?
Yes. In the power supply, it's 60 hertz. In the interconnects and the loudspeaker cables, we have the full spectrum of audio.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have much more beyond, up to say 10 megahertz. So, with my equations, I'm able to design wrapping of the wire, surrounding media of the wire, which changes reactive parts of the wire. I'm able to manipulate the reactive part. I'm able to force the wire get and return energy the way I want it to do. Not by its natural quality, but the controlled into desired, say, frequency reactions and overall damping of the high frequencies. As we already pronounced, too much damping is bad because it's dead. Too little damping is ringing. So I'm able to optimize the ratio between active and reactive part to my liking.
And that's what creates like when I put in the York AC cables on my amplifiers, the transparency of the sound state, everything became more transparent and less electronic sounding. It was good before. I had good quality cables before, and they replaced cables that I thought were good. That these are much better, and then I put yours in, and it's another level of transparency and three-dimensionality and soundstage depth, and seeing into the soundstage from the AC cable, and that's because of reduction of resonances, is what you're saying?
Let's imagine that the entire frequency range, up to say 100 megahertz, 1 gigahertz, is a wind. What we do, we control and reduce the wind. Or in other words, we simply allow your components to perform their best. It's not magic, it's just reducing, preferably removing as much as we can, external disturbance in a wide frequency range.
And how do those ultra-high frequencies affect the audible frequencies?
Like the wind affects our speech. It has certain properties, and interaction of the high frequencies with the audio band creates artifacts, pluses and minuses. Let's imagine we have certain disturbances as 100 kilohertz, which is beyond our ability to hear. And there is another source that has disturbance at 99 kilohertz. The difference between is 1K, which is the region of the main, most sensitive region of our hearing. This artifact is what affects the audio band.
I see.
Pluses and minuses of very high frequency.
That was a good explanation. I understood that. I think people at home understood that too. I think we've covered it sufficiently for our purposes for today. And I just want to say that in my experience, AC cables make among the biggest differences of any cable in a system. Would you agree with that?
I would say that interconnects, analog interconnects, clearly compete with the magnitude of the effect.
Yeah.
They're more predictable than power cables because the length is shorter and there are fewer factors to consider.
Yeah.
But in general, of course, I agree with you.
Yeah. I think, and would you say that any person interested in good sound should at least try an AC cable, even if they're totally skeptical about it making a difference, they should at least try something to see whether they hear a difference. I think they should.
Yeah, hearing is believing.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes whoever thinks that he understands everything is mistaken.
Right.
Regardless of depth and broadness of our knowledge, there are factors which we cannot understand yet. However, if you hear the difference, then there should be physical reason under it. And we're trying to address that.
And the people who say it's all confirmation bias, that you think you're going to hear a difference and you hear a difference and you have to do a double blind test to try to hear I don't believe in that myself.
I don't believe in it either, because we're not simple creatures. And if we want to actually get familiar with the component, with the loudspeaker, with the cable, with the environment, with the room, with whatever related, I would say we need to live with it. We need to spend time with it. And if I say that we need to create emotional relationship with this piece of gear to actually know what it is. It's not, I mean, electronics, say, have no soul.
Sure.
At the same time, they do. It's just a different kind of soul, and we need to somehow get into it.
I totally agree with that. And going back and forth, we don't listen that way, we don't eat that way, and so that kind of testing is good for drugs probably, but this takes more. Although when I took the cables out that were in my system and put yours in, and I had a witness that was there, we played the same piece of music, it was instantly notable. Instantly. It was like, I was trying not to hear a difference, and I didn't think I would hear much of a difference, because the cables I had in there were very good cables. Whereas in the preamp, they supplied a rubber cable. That's what came with it. So I knew I'd hear some, and it was the difference that it would have changed what the review would have been. What I would have said about this piece of gear that I was reviewing.
Because the cables, proper cables, simply allowed that to perform the way it can.
Right. A rubber cable, just a plain, it wasn't doing the job. And you know, the manufacturer said, I'm not going to supply my choice of a costly cable. I would rather have the customer not pay for my choice. I'd rather have the customer just plug it in so it works and then make their choice, which makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me as well.
Okay,
one last word.
Yes.
For this, say, manipulation of the reactive properties of the wire, I will probably get a patent. It's a patentable idea, and most likely I will get it in maybe 2 months, maybe 3 months, and it might be published. So for other people, at least to understand on the physical mathematical way what I'm doing, that it's real, it's not imaginary, it's not black magic, it's not some voodoo.
Right.
It's a physical principles applied to, say, such a simple thing as audio cables.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.
On this rack, we've got a Wand master turntable, which is the 2-layered thing. We've got the two versions of the Wand dark light tonearm, the 10.3 inch at the back, which we introduced last year, and now this year's new introduction at Vienna is this 12-inch version, which I'm very, very happy with, not just because it looks cool, but it
really does look cool. Let's face it.
It sounds quite a bit better, which, I mean, I expected some improvement, but it surprises even me, and I'm the doting parent. The rest of and we've got a DS Audio cartridge, the E3.
Okay.
And that's partly because the Phono stage, all the amplifications from Mavis in Vietnam, and the Phono stage had an optical input, so it seemed a good opportunity to
how is it? Is it good?
Yeah, it seems to be fine.
I'm not familiar with this company.
No, I wasn't either. They've got another brand, which has got another. I'll have to look it up.
Do they have an American importer? Would you know?
I don't think so.
Oh,
no.
It looks great. It's very cool looking
and
stuff.
It's tube hybrid, and the power amp, the transistor part of it runs quite. Oh, it's got 2 bias settings. Runs quite a lot of Class A, which is why the room's so hot.
So this is the optical.
That's a phono stage.
For optical only?
Well, no, it can do moving core.
Oh, I see.
Magnet.
Because they call it the DS1, that kind of gives the feeling that it's...
a bit of a clue there.
Yeah, and then down below the MMS.
That's actually a streamer DAC, I think.
Okay, and then the bottom piece?
The bottom is an integrated amp, 90 watts.
I see. Very. I like the look that they've got there. It's
The
really...
pricing is in the 6,000 to 8,000 euros.
For each one?
For each one.
Wow,
yeah.
that's...
And so my turntable, it's about 7,500 for the turntable, 7,500 for that, and 8,900 for the 12-inch. And then when people buy both together, they get a 10% off the package.
My name is Angus. I'm from WestminsterLab. So we're a small company from Hong Kong.
I think we reviewed some of your stuff. I think
not from tracking angle. No, not from.
Ken Redmond didn't review one of your pieces. Are you sure?
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Yes.
I think he did.
He did. Yes.
For us, for tracking angle.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did. Yes.
I was right.
Yes.
Thank God,
right.
because
Sorry.
I'm the editor. So if I got that wrong, it would be very embarrassing.
But this is the first time we show it in Europe actually. Okay. So. We have the return table, and this is the monoblock phono preamp. So this is modular, so the user can plug in different modules. So this is the MCM modules. We have a DS audio module, and also we have pure mono modules for people who love mono records.
Okay, so this is the standard stereo MMMC, or
yes, MMMC
does
yes.
both.
Yes. Okay. So gains up to 70, and we have lots of impedance choice. What's special about this is for small signals, there are lots of capacitors used in the RIA signals. So we work with a capacitor manufacturer to find a specific capacitor for this kind of small signals, which has negligible crossover loss. So this is kind of new in terms of what we used in the Rhino. So we have incredible noise performance and also very low distortion when the phase goes between positive and negative.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like you've got it in a very compacted space, which is very elegant looking in there.
Yeah.
Well,
in terms of most of the work, most things you can see is actually power supply. So we have 7 individual rails inside. So it's completely dual mono,
right,
left and right, and positive, negative. And we have 2 sections of power supply. One is for the RIA circuitry. One is for the output buffers.
I see.
So most of the unit is basically power supply. The signal only goes through around 12 components from the input to the output.
Oh, and what does this cost in America? Like
it's around 10,000.
10,000?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and that's all you have to show me, and that's fine. That's enough.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So this is the Pear Audio Odar, which is the top model.
How do you spell that?
Odar, O-D-A-R.
Okay, Odar. Okay.
And normally this is how it comes like this. You can put one arm here and one arm here.
Okay.
But now this is the tone arm, a separate arm mount that comes with the new Aris model that you can add to this as well. So it's totally separate from the plinth.
Okay.
And you can of course have more, or you can just keep it here.
Okay.
And normally this is the front, the turntable when you don't have this.
Okay.
So it's like a boomerang shape.
Oh, so normally that would be the main arm.
Right,
too.
yeah,
Okay.
this is where it normally would go first. And you can put the motor behind or in front.
Okay.
However you want.
Okay.
But this has quite a big, footprint.
Okay.
So the Aris model, which is the one below, which has the separate arm mount, has a round plinth. So the footprint of that would be more like that.
Okay.
So it basically has the 2 options.
Okay. And
we are introducing it. It's quite new, a couple of days ago. A new link. It's not a simple cable. It's a link between the signal ground and the earth ground that we designed to just to ground the phono stage and the turntable the right way, the best way we could. So it's a link, which means that there are components, passive components, that allow some isolation from the earth ground that is polluted by the mains.
Right.
And which allows the best result that I think is possible. So we have a flagship phono stage, which is on demo, which is called the PHS 7.3. On this one, we introduce what you have here, which is an external step-up transformer. We introduced this last year. It's a prototype still. And we had demand for something integrated. So we are developing right now, it's almost done, an option for the smaller Phono stage, 7.2. We are developing a step-up transformer, smaller, that would be integrated inside this one, optional. So you can have a step-up transformer for either input one only or both inputs. So that's
Okay.
the news.
Show me the front of it so we have a nice shiny picture. This is the TACF9 sapphire. The tube is sapphire.
Correct.
Yeah.
Monocrystal sapphire. So it's just grown from one piece. This one piece.
And what does this arm cost?
50 to 100 euros. So it's compared with the Kuzma, it's 25%.
Yeah. And this is a ceramic head shell?
Ceramic head shell. There are zero flex bearing. See how it works? This is for vertical movement of a tonearm. Regular bearing for horizontal, it's not as important. Magnetic anti-skate.
You got an SME mount there?
Yes, we have SME mount and we have a regular round kind of Jalco mount. And now we have this Techniques mount, so that can replace mounts on 1200 G and similar.
How difficult is it to get their arm out
It's
of
about 10 to 15 minutes.
That's it? Oh. How do you do it from underneath?
Yes. You see there are some screws right here.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Because Techniques is a really nice turntable, but
Yes.
tonearm is not something.
And so you could put any tone arm that with the pillar would fit into that
Yes.
opening. Oh. How much is that?
Right now it's I think it's around 320 euros.
Okay, that's not bad. Yeah.
Mounted.
Yeah.
Looks pretty neat, just like, you know.
The last time I saw you had one turntable. You have more than one turntable now? So this is a brand new one.
Yeah, this is a brand new one, and you have seen it 2 years ago as a prototype, but now we really have finished all these handles, the feel that you need, because it's not only putting it high and down and the speed, but it's also the feel you have when you move these handles, and that's what we solve now. And we have now a new analog path and an electrical path to the back, so it's really.
And what is this? A 2495?
2495, yeah. And I think it's a very nice record player, which I can show. This is what's in it, and then you make the isolation to the outside world with the rubber dots over here.
Okay.
So now the platter with the record is one piece is isolated from the rest. So that is the support function. Then you have the centering function. You can see that the hole is too big.
Yep.
That's on purpose. So we have this rubber ring and we have two holes there. So if we now put it on, it's centered by the rubber ring. So you can move the furniture around.
Yeah.
It's centered and it's also disconnected.
Yeah.
And the third one is the drive function. Well, that's very obvious. It's the belt. That is one way of isolating.
Right.
And you have the transport screws you can lose, and you see the motor is laying down in the rubber rings there.
Yep.
So it's also separated. So these are the three mechanical paths we solved this way.
Very simply, actually, but solved. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go down all the way to see what is happening, what is a record, and what you're going to do with it.
Yeah.
So this is the basic thing. Why, if you play a record, you're very free of all these things happening there. All these vibrations go away, and it's very important. And I like to compare a record and dampening with a, let's say, a bell, a church clock. If you hit this bell, it's pound, it goes on a long time, and then you can feel the force of vibrations. If you touch the bell with your finger very slightly, you can feel the vibrations go into your arm. And if you squeeze it a little bit, it's quiet. And that's what's happening with the record too.
Okay.
So the vibrations, in fact, is the past in the music. It's just before what you listen to now. So if you're dampening it out fast, then you're really free and you can hear every detail. And that's the secret of all our record players.
We have one new machine, and we have two versions we're going to show you. This is the 200U, and the difference with the new machine that we have is the previous machine, if you wanted to clean a 7-inch or a 10-inch record, you had to add a peripheral ring on the outside.
Yes.
This new one, what it does is you drop the record in, it's got auto sensors, and what it'll do is the rollers will adjust to the size of the record, and we'll give you an example.
How great is that?
Say I want to clean a mono 10-inch record. A lot of people collect mono jazz
You know what
records.
people are saying at home right now? Get your freaking hands off the record.
Oh,
I got you. Thank you.
Okay, let's do
I
it
know
again.
these people at home. They talk to me.
Okay.
There you go.
So
Dropping a 10-inch record.
it's detecting the size of the record now. Now it's gonna get the water coming in, and we gotta put it on cleaning and drying for 1 minute. So now it's gonna start priming.
And it's smiling. It smiles at you.
Yes, it smiles.
Is that why you? Oh, that's to show you.
It's got a 7-inch smile, a 10-inch smile, and a 12-inch smile.
And very tiny eyes. And so there you go. Okay. That's so great. And it's just as good, just as efficacious as the big machine. It works just as well.
It's just as good. Yes. The only difference is that auto detect for 7, 10, and 12-inch.
Automatic detect adjust.
Yeah, I get that.
And Peter made these special adapters for 7-inch records. They're made of steel and brass.
Auto loader.
For the auto loader version.
Okay.
We'll show that in a minute.
So my machine is basically outdated and not working.
Okay. Yeah. Even 7-inch. Automatic.
Auto sensor.
How long did it take you to come up with this?
How long did it take you to come up with the idea?
Maybe a year ago.
A year ago.
But realized work about 6 months.
Yeah. And how much does this machine sell for in the United States?
Retail will be $7,000. So he has all three on there right now.
It's like a jukebox, only it's wet.
It is, yeah. And you can actually, it'll come with 5 of these adapters. So if you want to have jukebox records, it'll do it. We should put it on cleaning cycle. Yeah, we have it on cleaning and drying now.
And then finish the washing, next one, 10-inch.
Let's put the cleaning on. Right now we only have it on drying, just for an example.
That's fine. And how much does this machine cost? The
auto loader.
3,700.
3,700.
So it's under $4,000.
All comparable.
Yeah.
7-inch, we made a special adapter.
Yeah, I get it.
And it'll come with 5 of these. If you want to do all 7-inch records, you can actually put all 5 on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So what have you done?
Yeah. This year I upgraded with remote control, DTA remote control, local control, remote control, DTA, laser, and play up down. There is a new function edit, and also same thing as a water damping and cramping now 스피드 너무 빠르다. Also the linear tracking.
Right.
Also magnetic braking, electromagnetic braking, quick stop. Different between other direct drive, I made another level of accurate control drive, motor drive, which is a high accuracy and high torque and high accuracy, and auto magnetic start and feedback for speed control. But my control is only clock, 10 megahertz clock, depends on the time control without any sensing feedback. there is a difference between other normal direct drive.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you so much.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
What have we new in-house? I can you show our new very special silver cable.
And this is Robert Huber, you should know.
Yes, I'm
Many
Robert
people
Huber.
have met you in a video from a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Kidnapped by two...
I'm the owner of this company. Company is now 10 years old. We have a very good reputation.
Yes. Better than mine, but that's not difficult. Okay, so what do we got?
And we have very high prices because all is manufactured in Switzerland. And here you see, this is our newest product, this Phono cable.
Into RCA.
With the 5-pin SME connector only. On the other side we have the XLRs.
Oh.
And what is very, very special is these wood boxes here.
They separate the two channels.
Yes.
A specific distance, is that what that's about?
Yes, and the boxes itself are from a special wood. You can read here. In American it's called Swiss stone pine wood. This is a tree that grows 2,000 meters up in our Alps. And this wood is really coming from the Swiss Alps.
And what does it do? What does the wood do? Anything?
The wood is here. Here, surely I must split the cables.
What if I made that out of plastic? What would it make a difference?
No. So we make a natural sound, therefore we use natural products like this wood. You see we have a silver wire, a monocore inside.
Right.
And special, we have a cotton isolation.
Okay.
Cotton isolation is also made in Switzerland.
That I understand.
And therefore, I think also we have made listening tests. They sound excellent, the cable.
Okay.
The sales price is 7.5. This is brand new, yes.
And so what does this length cost? What does it cost to buy? What does this piece of cable cost right here?
$7,500.
$7,500.
Sales price, yes.
Yeah, I've seen that. Do you make different lengths, or is it all this one length?
On request, you can have different lengths. This is now 1.50 meters.
Does the price change when it's less expensive? Does the price go down when it's less expensive?
No?
It's the same price no matter what length you want it. Okay. But of course, we all know you can't make it too long.
Yeah, the work is the same if I make 120 or 150.
Okay.
This is no, and all is handmade. Also, it takes me about 1 week to produce one cable.
My God.
Also, not me, my workers.
They do it, right?
Yeah, I have 6 girls in the company.
Women, we call them women.
6 women.
Yes,
sorry.
I don't want you getting in trouble with that.
Yes, they are much better than men's in fine.
Yes, always is the case.
They are
yes.
better than I.
What's happening with your cartridge? That's what I'm interested in.
Cartridge, I had to stop because we had a lot of work in the last time, but after the exhibition we go on.
If you remember what happened last year, something fell on the floor last year.
Yes, this was missing, this was falling on the floor.
Yeah, I know, that's the Orbre one piece.
Yes. But we go on, we make 2 versions, one with the normal boron cantilever and the other with this integrated diamond stuff.
So these are available now? You're selling them yet? Not yet?
Some months. No, we are optimizing the rubber.
Okay.
Also, I'm sure you know the rubber is the most important part of the whole system by an MC system.
Yep. And that's a bigger power supply.
Yes, we have a standard one with 120 VA torodial, and this has 300 VA torodial.
It makes a sonic difference.
The people told me it sounds better. My Chinese distributor only ordered with a large power supply.
Does he say better or more dynamic or more? What?
Unfortunately, in my company, I've seen it. I have not so a good listening room.
Yeah,
I can hear a difference, but if all people tell me this, I make it.
That's a good idea. Okay, thank you, Robert. It's great to see you, and I'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you.